Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Toya T, and I'm back in my car, and this is a Lyft video. I thought this would be a great topic for this week. I'm trying to do these like weekly Lyft videos based off of what my YouTube followers and commenters have been telling me and asking for me to talk about. So today I'm going to talk about a question that I've gotten frequently from the mentees, my Lyft mentees, and from people, particularly females who are thinking about becoming drivers, either for Lyft or Uber, wherever, about safety. And you know, how do I feel safe when I drive as a female driver? So the one thing that I do say is that yes, it was a concern when I first started off about possible safety and having strangers in my car, particularly strange men in my car, because as a female, I'm not saying that I am weak, but I am saying that if you are a 200-something pound guy and you try to attack me in my car, it's going to be kind of hard for me to fight you off, unless I get that, you know, that adrenaline, like, you know, like fight or flight strength where you can like lift up a car and do all that stuff. But I've pretty much been pretty safe. I've been driving for over a year with Lyft, and one thing is that I personally don't drive at night. I've said it several times that I don't drive at night. I only drive really during the daytime, and particularly during the daytime. So I will say that I've never driven at night. I typically drive during the day when the sun is out. And if I do drive at night, I think the latest that I've driven is 8 p.m. I don't go past that, so it's still early evening if I do drive at that time. And during the summer, you know, 8 p.m. it's still light outside. But here, you know, once the fall winter hits, you know, by 6 o'clock it's dark. So from 6 to 8, I guess that's kind of nighttime for me, but it's really just early evening. And I still consider it kind of daytime driving, mainly because 6 to 8 is people, especially if you're driving, you know, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8, or it's even Saturday and Sunday, 6 through 8, is really people either coming from work or they're heading to some kind of event or restaurant or something. So you can usually get, I usually know like who's going to get into my car and where they're going, because of the time of day when I pick them up. And so I don't feel unsafe because of that. I have had some instances even during driving during the day where I felt semi-uncomfortable. So there was one time where this guy was still drunk from the night before, got into the front seat and started touching my leg and telling me how nice my pants were. And that was probably the only situation where I felt extremely unsafe. And luckily he was pretty harmless, and I feel like he was a small guy and he was, you know, semi-drunk, and if he really tried to make a move, I could have, you know, easily thrown my water in his face and, you know, or stopped on the side of the road, because I was in a well-lit area. I was in a busy area. It was in the morning, so if I really did feel unsafe, I very easily could have pulled over and asked him to get out, or I could have very easily rolled down my window and yelled for help, or you know, honk my horn or something. I know you heard that. Honk my horn and let, you know, people know that I am looking for help. So that is one thing why I don't drive at night, because I'm afraid that you have less chances of being able to find help, especially when it's dark. And so I don't go past the 8 o'clock time, because after 8 o'clock, you know, that's when the nighttime is the right time to get into danger and into some trouble. And I'd rather just avoid that. So I don't do Friday nights or Saturday nights when people are more likely to be imbibing or in, you know, drugs or alcohol, and may, you know, cause a ruckus in my car, make me feel unsafe. So that's how I kind of avoid it. I also, when people talking about areas where you drive, I drive everywhere. I have no problems driving anywhere. I've driven across country, across this country, and felt quite safe, even when I was on dirt roads, desert roads, wooded, arid roads, middle of nowhere roads. I don't feel bad at all. I usually don't start off my drives in areas that I'm not comfortable with. So that's how I also keep safe, is that when I put myself into driver mode, I head towards areas, or I sit in areas that I am very familiar with. So that's for me downtown Boston, Dorchester, Roxbury, around college campuses, around Boston, all those areas I'm very comfortable with. I know them very well. I know where the exit streets are, how the streets run, who's usually going to be on there. So that's usually another way that I keep myself safe. And just being, observant, noticing if you see some people coming into your car and you automatically don't feel safe, you can refuse to let them in your car. You can cancel the ride and say, you know what, I'm sorry, something came up and I just have to cancel the ride. You'll have to order another Lyft. There is nothing wrong with it. They allow you to do that. They allow you to cancel rides. There is $1 that is charged to each passenger, like a safety charge, trust and safety charge, mainly because you're paying the driver for actually putting themselves in possible harm's way by allowing you to get into their car. And so, I mean, that's my understanding of it. Don't take me at word. But that's pretty much how I keep myself keep myself safe. I think driving for Lyft or Uber or any of these companies is quite safe for females, although you don't see as many females in some of the major cities. I know here we do have a significant amount of female drivers that I have seen, but when I was in New York taking Lyfts, when I was taking Lyfts there, it was all men. It was all like older, immigrant men, which is not a problem, but it seemed more like I pretty much just got into a taxi, but just the person's personal car and just not a taxi. And so that was like semi-familiar, but it also puts out the idea that there are no female drivers and maybe it's not safe for females to do, and it very much is, because Lyft is definitely trying to get more drivers out there, more drivers, that a diverse pool of drivers from different parts of the country to actually really represent what this country looks like, so that when people actually do get into people's cars, they feel comfortable. They look like people that they know, people who live in their communities and their neighborhoods, that understand where to drive in the city, what it is to need a ride in the city, and really gives you that personal kind of touch to your ride experience. So I hope I answered your guys' questions. Let me know if you're a female driver, or how do you keep safe on the road. Even for the guys, let us, let's talk about how do you keep safe? Do you have any tips on how to keep safe while driving? I would think that driving in Boston is pretty safe. I haven't had any issues except for that one guy. And it was the summer. It was like 7:30 in the morning, 7:30, 8:30. I think I was off by 10. So it was somewhere between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. that this dude was still drunk and making inappropriate passes at me. So it's not very common for that to happen. If you do drive at night, let me know, how do you keep safe while driving, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Send it to your friends. Send it to fellow Uber drivers, curb drivers, sidecar drivers, people who are interested in driving in general, or just those who just like seeing my face and listening to my voice. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.